So what we have here is a shelter I did in Green Bay, just here in a park. Did a quick little tutorial. And really I created a three-dimensional oblique on this. So kind of an ortho photogrammetry mapping, stitching together photos to give you a really accurate depiction of this building. So as I press play here, this is going to be a little bit slow here. I'll show just some of the sort of things that we're able to see, and as I collect the data, I'm able to use this DJI Terra software to really run through and do my checks and balances, and you know, all of this is also the files and everything, the exports I have out of this are obviously available to you or to whoever may utilize it, and it can be used in other third-party applications or software programs easily. So, but I'm able to quickly have a point cloud here, look at some elevation off of the ground points here, because you can see the structure highlighted in green, some of the green trees here as well, and then this is kind of an interesting one as well. So again, you have the ground points in orange, and then your point not classified. So these are man-made structures, or as you can see, vegetation above the ground here in some of these trees, and you can see a slide here on this side, which is nice because you're able to actually remove this in the software, and a lot of different third-party applications too. You can, these files are able to recognize things that are not ground points, and you can see the real, topography and landscape of what you're trying to map. We get a little bit farther into here, we'll throw the 3D mesh down, and I'll click on, I believe, the, let's see, we're gonna go to the AT, which is, this is really just a check here of the overlap of pictures. You can see in the middle of the screen. There is some gaps because obviously if you're looking at one side of the roof, you can't see the other on the structure. But this is really just a coverage map, and this is excellent coverage here of all the points and how it's stitched together in the photos that it's taken, and the hundreds of photos that it's stitching together on the route plan. And then we'll do a little bit of a look here at the actual building and get some detail shots. I didn't get really down low, so a lot of detail below the roof is not great, but manually, or in a manual fashion, I can get those shots as well and stitch them into this look. But as we get a little bit closer here, you can really see the detail. You can even see the sticks on top of the roof here pretty easily from the hard winter that's obviously knocked them down, but just a ton of detail you're able to get really close to. And this is obviously a less than 10 foot tall, well, it's from the actual I guess gutter line, you'd call it, whatever, but not a huge structure, right? But the detail you're able to get on something like this is pretty incredible. Even from just a prior building inspections, looking at projects currently in motion. Tough to evaluate areas where an aerial view or a three-dimensional model can go a long way. So I do these types of checks here and look at and use DJI Terra. Like I said, I'll put up the different file types that I'm able to export here and how you can potentially be able to use them. I also, like, when it comes to this stuff, I can create videos and things like this pretty quickly if there's focus areas. If you want to zoom in here on the roof like I'm doing again here, it's pretty easy to do and get some really close detail and shots of things. So just a quick demo. This is, obviously just a demonstration of what's possible, but really cool stuff. Things that, it's, as long as there's not a million trees and wires and things where I can actually get to a property or building or land, even then there's ways to work around it. You can really create some great models.